But the crazy thing is, like when I said about before about praying about everything in my life, I did not honestly. And that one point I didn't pray about. I didn't pray and say, God, is this the guy for me?
Oh, wow. From the beginning.
From the beginning.
Mm.
So.
Did you overlook? Okay, did you not pray about it because you kind of knew?
I thought of. I just felt like it's what
You
I
just felt like
felt.
it was unnecessary, or
No, and I think again that was almost the start of getting out of my routine.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh, yes, I
Then
see.
I'm all in love, and then again,
Yeah.
I had the children, and then my focus is them from sunrise to sunset, and then
Mm-hmm.
anything else. But so that was my first moment when I look back, hindsight now, is what I didn't ask God, like, God, yo, dude, because see, me and God, we talk like that. I'd be like, yo,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's good. I didn't do that. But the other thing I will say though, I never envisioned myself where I am right now, which was another reason why I had to get back to my spiritual base, because like where my life is today for me is
Mm-hmm.
disappointing, which a lot of people are like, oh my God, you're disappointed. But I never thought I would be divorced. I've had a lot of friends, not a lot of friends, but a couple of friends that really hurt me. But every time I wanted something, I prayed about it, and for the most part, it happened. Like I used to sell. I used to be a teacher. I used to,
Okay.
yeah, I taught for 7 years, and then I wanted to go into pharmaceuticals, which everybody thought you have no sales background, and so I
Mm-hmm.
prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed for about 3 to 6 months every day about
Mm-hmm.
this. Take it off my heart if it isn't meant for me. And it never was taken off my heart. So I said, well, until he says so, I'm going to keep pursuing it. I ended up selling pharmaceuticals,
Mm-hmm.
So I promise you, there's nothing I can remember post the last 15 years that
Mm-hmm.
I have not gotten in my life that I've asked for.
Mm. The power of prayer.
Hmm.
The power of prayer, of consistent prayer.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
We're dating.
yeah, I have been dating. We've both been dating the whole time. Yeah.
Hi.
The dating life has been amazing.
Wow.
Okay, first I start off online.
Okay. Well,
Okay, and I guess when you have been, mistreated so poorly for so long, when you get out there online and with other men that are kind of appreciate you, want to take you places, talk to you on a mental level before sexual, it's exciting and you feel liberated and like you're in your 20s, you know?
yeah.
So, and then you find your fit, but at the same time, I am busy and I have children and I still have goals that I want to reach. So, always subconsciously, I have in my mind that, you know, I'm kind of having fun now, but I'm not making too close of an attachment until I get to a space where I want to be mentally, physically, and spiritually as well. But I can say that each man that I have dated throughout the course has actually been a benefactor towards my levitation, even with, as far as, talking to me about my credit, owning land. These are the type of conversations that are really stimulating, some, silly, just, or some that listen to my ideas at night and take me seriously without saying, you'll never be able to do that. Cause that's what I was going through, girl. That's what I was going through.
I'm I suck at dating.
What? In
But
dating?
I yeah.
Why do you, okay,
For me.
what do you,
First of all, I've only dated two two guys.
uh-huh,
Three guys, technically three guys. One I dated for first dated for 6 weeks, right? And then
okay.
I think he got scared. And so
Did you run another? Did you run another one off? Sure.
No, I think he got scared with his feelings that he was getting in a little bit too much into me. I was into him too, though. That like I'm an exclusive dater. I'm not. I know what I want, so it doesn't take me long to figure out if this is gonna work. You know.
Have you written down your man? Your list? You have? Yeah, I've done that. Yes. I'm like, I want him to look like this, have this. And I don't think mine is unrealistic because I know that they like to say, women have unrealistic expectations. A man is not Jesus. I understand that.
I think I'm pretty easy going with it. I don't, you just don't know how easy I am. I am. Yeah. But I also think that because of, unfortunately, my ex-husband was very successful. So people feel a need to compare themselves with him, which I don't think you need to,
Okay, and you're not doing the comparing.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay, very good.
Yes, and this is another thing that drives me crazy, even in terms of people have perceptions of who I am because of the show, right? So if I was just never on that show and I met a guy, it would be totally different than me meeting guys now. So now I think, if I to get with her, I need to have this, I gotta have that. They try to portray this image of themselves that isn't there. I'm like, when I dated with and when I tell people this, they find it hard to believe. When I started dating my ex-husband, I made more money than he did. So it wasn't like I was out because he was like, because he was in the NBA.
Right.
No. He was making $35,000 a year. Okay. And had 2 kids and child support. So it wasn't about the money that I fell in love with. I fell in love with the person. And then later on, because of me, because I'm a child of God and he blessed me, he was blessed because of me.
He had found it a good thing.
Exactly. His life totally changed when I came into it.
I'm not from the Potomac Housewives, but I'd like to put on my little TV makeup when I start sweating.
I sweat all the time, actually.
When I get to shining.
I'm on shining because I'm, having private summer. So
yeah, it is hot in here. So, right, okay. Yep, I started with online dating, and now it's just, I guess.
What did you do?
Huh?
What site did you do?
The first one was Zeus. I think that's so much better. There's another site. All I'm going to say, you all, if it's free, it's ghetto. What does Needy say? Woo, child, the ghetto. Stay away from the free ones. Zeus is good, great quality, and I say that because you have to fill out your information, and so they match someone according to that. I'm really big on height because I'm a woman that's 5'9", so I don't do short men, and that does not limit me. And I am not, shallow. Actually, my ex-husband, he's 5'6", so I'm just traumatized. I'm not doing that anymore. I gave the benefit of the doubt to the lollipop girl, and they showed off for me. So I'm not doing that again. Okay, unless the Lord says so, and then I'll be okay with that.
And this one's free, Facebook. So I'm on Facebook, so I get I think they're still behind bars. I'm looking at some of these profiles, and I'm like, are you locked up? Like
prison letters?
And I'm like, are you serious? But like what someone told me though, they said guys really just aren't good at pictures, so don't go by the picture. I'm like,
that's true. If they are very good at pictures, they might be a little.
But that little orange suit might be a little
So he's coming. It might be. It might be a connection or a friend of a friend or something like that. I have a little boo right now. He's very sweet, and I really like him. So we'll see what happens.
So did you meet him online?
I did.
Okay.
Not on a dating site though. Just in mere conversation and kind of shared interest.
Oh, did I say I'm on the market? I tell everybody I'm on the market. Closed mouths don't get fed. So I'm like, I let everybody.
Wait, before we get started, I want to say this to ladies, and I hope you don't do this, Charrisse.
What?
Do not talk about your ex.
Oh,
The
hell.
new guy. Don't talk about how bad your ex did you.
Ask me questions. I don't want to talk about him.
Right. I just say, things broke up, unless it depends on how far, because you don't want that guy to look at you like you a dirty rug. He getting ready to do the same thing to you that person did. He's not going to look at you like, oh, let me save her from this bad circumstance that she's been through. He's going to look at you like, hey, you're a fool. We're going through that for a long time. And we already know that we were foolish for going through. We don't need another man looking at us like that. And then he's going to think, okay, looks like she's used to it. Don't mind if I do, like, you want to hold yourself to value and let him know, this man made a commitment to me. I didn't just lay up with somebody or do any old thing out here.
Exactly.
Man that is in my life makes commitments to me. He doesn't baby mama me for 20 years. Things to do.
Like I was thinking one in maybe Dubai, one in Africa. And
you too popular for that. You never know what one of them scoundrels might come up with. You gotta have one you can keep a good eye on. Too many, you can keep your eyes on three. You gotta have one, so in case anything happened, you can say, "Oh, I know it was you for sure. I know it was you." Exactly. Too many, they gonna say, "You don't know who it was." No, I know. You're the daddy.
The first thing I did for like a month, every single day, I asked God to remove people out of my life that weren't meant to be in my life. And it happened. That's why I said that was hurtful. But watch what you ask for, because I sure did ask him, and he sure did reveal it. And I was like, okay. But I'm like, now I'm glad. It's like, I don't want toxic people in my life. I don't want, I mean, even I had to cut off a friend who would call me, and within 5 minutes, it was like, yeah, talking about somebody, oh, girl, let me tell you this, and oh, did you know that? Oh, girl. And I'm sitting on like, okay, this is not how I want to start my day. You have a girl, like, you're close, and you're out, and you see your girlfriend's man out having a drink with another woman. What do you do?
I'm taking a picture and I'm sending. And I'm gonna tell her I'm gonna wait in the bathroom till you get here, and we're gonna approach this.
I think me, I'm gonna go right over to them and I'm gonna sit down. And they're like, "What's up? What is this?"
But you don't want him to get away because he might tell her another story.
I'm gonna let him know. No. I'm gonna let him. You're gonna let her know. You're going to tell her about this. Because see, I observed too many situations where women have told, and then the woman is not your friend no more, and is still with the man.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. I just always struggle with that. Like thank God I haven't had to encounter that. But
that's true though.
I did. No, I take that back. A long time ago I did. One time I did. And one of my friends, but she and I were friends, but she wasn't like my tight sister girlfriend. But I told him, I said, you better tell her that she don't find out. So make sure she does. And he did.
Women build that are in those type of situations, they build a perfect delusional bubble.
Right. And
they will protect it at all costs.
Exactly.
So if you try to come in and show some reality, you're gonna find out. Okay. You will find out exactly who she is. They might be even a small little frame, tiny woman. Okay. Next thing you know, the Wolverine then came out. Leave her alone. So I'm learning that. I think that's a good piece of advice. I have heard it in other places. by a woman that had more experience than I have, but I think this is great confirmation for me not to do that. That
Yeah.
may be an immature step. So that's
See,
why we're still learning, still developing.
yeah, but I think I mean, but then you don't want her to not know. You know what I'm saying? That's
You know what? Like you said with the prayer,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
probably have to pray for what the right move is. You know how when you want to do something, you're like, I don't know, and then you pray about it, and maybe a couple of days later, it all comes out why you should not have done it in
Right.
areas where you couldn't see your
Right.
blind spots.
Yeah.
So I would work it that way, especially if it's a friend that you cherish and love.
I'm not gonna call you back till you call me because I just assume you're busy.
Right.
And when you're done, you'll call me. So, and I was busy doing my own stuff. So next time it was Sunday, and I hadn't talked to him. So when I go to call him, guess who answered the phone? Yes, she did. She said,
Well, wait a minute.
"Hello, Charrisse."
Mm-mm.
I said, I'm not calling to speak with you. I would have never, but she couldn't wait to answer that call for me. She's like,
She couldn't wait. Oh, she was looking for
but
it. She
come
was
to find
she
out,
was dressed for it, honey.
she had a baby. Yes. She had just had
She's
a
his baby
son. I
mama.
was like, okay, see you later. Huh?
She's his baby mama.
She had a baby for him. So technically, and I'm thinking I might be wrong with this, but when we were dating,
You
when
know, they like to treat the baby mama like she ain't nothing. That's why you don't have no babies, but child.
wait,
Do you have anything else to add to that?
no, I was trying to see what was on the send list.
Oh, hold on, because I took a screenshot.
Like, oh.
I am ashamed. Hi. Let me see. Where's my send list? How far have I gone? Oh, and then I found this. I don't know if you can see it, Charrisse.
Uh-huh. That's oh yeah. I remember that picture. I
That was
remember that
at
picture.
Nene's opening.
Yes. Yes. Have you been back?
I haven't, but I do like the clothes though. So a list of sin. Girl, I'm so serious. Okay, here it says, according to the standard list, they are pride, greed, lust. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Gluttony, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth, which are also contrary to the 7 heavenly virtues. These sins are often thought to be abuses or excessive versions of one's natural faculties or passions. For example, a gluttony abuses one's desire to eat, to consume. When I started with pride, I don't know. I think I had a far-fetched idea of what pride was, and I didn't think it was me. It has a little bit to do with arrogance. There's some things that I had on my vision board that I wanted to execute. Well, when I went back and looked at it, I said that gives off a little streak of pride and arrogance that I didn't notice that I had been giving off sometimes. And that may have given people a bad taste in their mouth about me. Sometimes I see myself as a person that's confident, and I've just really worked too hard to have anybody tear that down. But maybe sometimes it could be a little bit too aggressive to some people and come off as intentionally being superior or acting like I'm better than them.
You know, it's funny because so many people tell me that I'm unapproachable. They like when they first see me, they view me as unapproachable. But then after they meet me, they're like, "Oh, you're nice." I'm like, yeah. They're
Yeah.
like, so many people have told me that I'm unapproachable. And I'm like, how am I unapproachable? And I don't even know that I give that off. I mean, if anything, I think sometimes I go into a scenario where, like, say I go, it's a party. I go in, and if I go in with my friends, I do have a bad habit of just seeing the people that are right with me.
Mhm.
And because people be like, oh, so and so was there. I don't see nobody. I'm like having a good time over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm,
not,
mhm.
it's not that I'm like, stay away. It's just that I'm just like, just in my own little zone.
Right.
But, and I don't know if people view that as unapproachable. I don't know. So I try now when I go out or when I'm out, like to look at people in their eyes. And someone else taught me something because the other thing I do is I'll meet somebody and they'll say, "Hi, I'm Lisa," and I'm like, "Hey, I'm Charisse," and move on. And then if you say to me 2 minutes later, "What was her name?" I'll be like, oh, "I don't know." And she just told me. I don't even know. It's like my girlfriend told me recently. She said, "Charisse, what you need to do, you gotta repeat their name. Like
Oh, okay.
someone says, you make sure they say they're Lisa. Oh, hi, Lisa. I'm Charisse. Or nice to meet you, Lisa. I'm like, I gotta do all that. Okay,
I am learning. I'm still learning. You know what I say? Oh, okay.
but
I
the other thing
I can't even remember their name.
and the way we even got into the conversation, I was telling her about one of my girlfriends, and
Mhm,
she's like, oh my God, I remember meeting her
mhm.
when I was at your house and I opened the door for her. She opened the door, and when she came in, my friend she says, hi, I'm Angela, and then she said, Renaka. And then Renaka, she's like, oh, Renaka, nice to meet you. Like that.
Mhm.
I see, I ain't doing all that. I just don't normally do all that, but I'm gonna try to start doing that. Like
Mm.
acknowledging. So she remembered her because she said her name.
I like that. I
And
like that.
I know that just from past experience, like when I lost 3 brothers in 2 years,
Mhm,
and it was just so hurtful that I just wanted to sleep it away. So that's the
mhm,
only other time I remember wanting to sleep away something. And
mhm.
so recently, my sister had passed, and so
Oh,
I just
I'm
wanted to
sorry
sleep.
for your loss.
Yeah, so I just wanted to sleep that way. I think she had corona actually, but it was right before. Um, so I wanted to sleep, but then it got to a point where I was like, am I getting depressed?
Mm,
Because like I have a list of stuff I need to do.
mm,
Like I'm like, what I've been doing for years. I write down every day the stuff I need to accomplish. So check, check, check. I wasn't checking nothing, and
mm,
it went into I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it. You know what? It's Friday. I'll do it Monday.
mm.
And it just and then I was in the bed, and then I'm like, am I getting depressed? I had to call Dr. Jeff. I'm like, yo, dude. He's like, I think I might be fighting depression, but
Mm.
because
Well,
I've been.
at least you had someone to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Make
been
somebody aware. Mhm,
no, I've been depressed before.
mhm,
Not in a clinical sense, like when people who are clinically depressed,
mhm,
but when I was going through, you know, when I came to the realization that my marriage was over, I was depressed.
mhm,
Like when I was filming Housewives of Potomac, I was depressed as I don't know what. When I watched
mm,
that show, especially season 1, I'm like, who is that? Like
mm,
that's when I first saw it, watching that show. I was
mhm,
like, that's I could it's in the eyes. Like
mm,
I could tell you I have hypertension. I could look in the mirror, I could tell I don't need to check a monitor. I could look at my eyes and I could see my blood pressure was high. Um
mm,
my eyes, they say that eyes are the lens to the soul. And
mhm,
when I watched that show, I was like, who is she?
mm.
That's when I realized,
She
that
was somebody
I
trying
was
to
going
get
through
through
something.
the day,
Yeah,
mhm, with a whole lot of other things going on and people looking at you,
yeah,
and you trying to get through the day.
exactly. And
Mhm,
it was like you're like I know for me, I was in this denial for a long time, And then it was like an embarrassment, like, oh my God, you don't want the world to know, and not even the world in the sense of being on the show, this is like before the show, just that your neighbors and all these people to know that things aren't kosher in your household. And so, and then so you're dealing with, well, I was dealing with it on my own. And I was like a functioning depressed person. And I didn't even realize it. Like I would get up, deal what I had to deal with my children.
Mhm.
I was always rock star mom. I know how to do that very well. And but then when that switch turns off and I don't have to be rock star mom, I would just like I would go into this thing.
Yes. And Charisse, you have the platform to do so. It's just about putting that specifically in front of them because, like we've all seen Housewives of Potomac, and there was a blessing in that because that it was a platform. And now you have the power to mold, the influence structure there. You
And
know
the
what I'm
thing is sometimes that's the one learning experience with that is you got to be uncomfortable sometimes. And that
Yes.
show and talking about my marriage, that was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever had to do. And now
Mhm.
I'm so open talking about it, like
Yes.
I don't even care, So I think that that's part of like wanting to help other women,
It's gonna bless them.
I'm
It
telling you,
certainly is.
because when you're going through certain things, like I'm very honest about it. I was going through a depression. I was going through all this stuff. When you're in it and you think you're all alone, but when you open up, you realize just about every door around you are going through the same thing. And everybody's just like you, trying to, try to show the world that, oh, everything's great. When
Mhm,
inside you're just like, everybody it's life, you know
mhm.
so just to be able to make a difference in that way, helping people understand you're not alone. And guess what, you're gonna get through it and you're gonna be better. The best thing about my divorce was when they went through all this stuff, and then I'm standing there looking, they were like, Are you happy?" I'm like, all I want to know is, when is it final? They're like, it's final. I said, oh my God, thank you. I didn't care about nothing else. I just wanted to be free. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
I wanted to
mhm,
be free. I remember going to the court and I said, God, I don't care what happens because I know you got me covered. You
mhm.
know, they could have said, Sharice, you leave with zero. I would have been okay with that. I was prepared because I know I'm covered. I know he has me 24/7.
Yes, and there are new things coming for you.
Exactly.
A
And
new leaf,
I
a
was
new day.
scared. Girl, I was so scared though. The fear is a trip. You don't even realize it. But that
Mm,
fear, I was afraid. But not no more, honey.
look
I
at
didn't
her.
realize I was afraid though.
You
You
look different. You look different
know
from when
what?
you were on that those episodes going through that. You look different. That's why I said, "What are you doing to your skin?" You look different. You look refreshed. You look younger.
Everyone
Yeah.
tells me, like even like my friends, everyone says that to me all the time. Like, you are the happiest divorced person I've ever met in my life.
Mhm. Yeah, when people make up in their minds, I mean, they washed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I literally, speaking of wash, I wanted, and I'm still gonna do it. I said when my divorce was final, I want to be baptized. I want to go down and come back up anew, and
Yes.
I'm gonna do it. I haven't
Yeah,
done it yet, but I'm gonna get baptized.
she's gonna get baptized,
Mm.
and, we want to see it.
Yes.
I want to see that. Have your children take some pictures. I know they're gonna be so proud of you.
Yeah, I want to be submerged.
Yes. I feel that. Yes. Yes. Okay, well, Miss Cherie, once again, thank you so much for being on Still Learning, Still Developing. I mean, we have learned so much within these 2 hours of this segment. God bless you for
God bless
being a
you.
transparent woman with us, open with us, teaching us, and learning with us.
Thank you for having me. And it's great seeing you again. We have to get together.
Yes, we do.
There's a new day coming, everything gonna be turning over. Everything gonna be turning over. Where you gonna be standing when it comes? There's a new day coming. Everything gonna be turning over. Everything gonna be turning over. Where you gonna be standing when it comes? For far too many years I've been marching, singing, and talking, doing things I thought would make me free. While people halfway around the world, they've been fighting and dying and bleeding. Now it seems that they're gonna be. There's a new world coming. Everything gonna be turning over. Everything gonna be turning